Okay, here is today's homework, 6-7 and 6-8, presented by Bhrett.
Alright, so first off, we're going to do the parent function, which is y equals the square root of x. And that's going to give you negative 8, negative 1, 0, 1, and 8, which in turn is negative 2, or no, positive.
No, that's right.
No,
You're right, negative 2.
Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. And
You're a
then
lefty,
since
aren't you?
I am a lefty.
Yeah, I just realized that.
Yeah.
I am a lefty.
Is there any way you can write, yeah, try to write so we can see, because your hand's in the way. Okay, good. Yes.
So since it's a minus 2, you can do the opposite of that, which means it's going to be, you're going to add 2 to all of your x's. It's really difficult for me to write this. Plus 2, so that's going to come up to a negative 6, positive 1, 2, 3, and then 11. And then you're just going to carry your
10.
y's over because you're not...
10.
10.
Stressful when you're up there forever.
Yeah, I can't do that.
You could do it.
And you're just going to carry your y's over because we're not touching them yet. Negative 2, 1, 0, 1, and 2.
Good job.
And then since you've got a negative over here, that means there's a 1 there, so you're going to multiply everything by a negative 1.
Shift over so we can see what you're doing.
Yeah, can we see?
Look at the screen.
Yeah, look at the screen.
Screen. You can bring up to an x and y again. Now we're just going to bring your x's over because you're not touching them for this one. I think that's a negative 6, 1, 2, 3, and 10 this time. And then basically you're just going to flip the signs because it's all by negative 1, so it's going to be 2, 1, 0, negative 1, and then finally a negative 2. And then the easy step is you're just going to add by 3 because you're going up 3 in the graph. So once again, you're just going to bring the x's over, giving you negative 6, 1, 2, 3, and 10 again. And then 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 1 is 4, 3, positive 2, and then finally 1.
Wait. Oh, yes, you're
Good job.
right. Nice.
Recording voice, like teaching voice.
He has a good teaching
Yeah.
voice.
Yes, and he explains what he's
You
doing.
do.
Very well.
I'd like to be a math teacher one day, so.
You could be.
Oh,
Really?
good.
Yeah.
I could not teach kids. Especially math.
And back over for the graph, you're just going to basically graph this, so it's going to be things that I have bad eyes, so I'm not going to like graph sometimes blur me out. I believe that's 5 here. And it's like really blurring
A
out.
little higher.
A little higher, one
You're
more.
like right in the middle. Yeah.
My eyes are just off.
I know it's hard to see those.
I know, I'm sorry, but if,
There you go.
6, 5. And I'm going to do 4, 2, 3, which is using the down here. 2, 3, 2, and there. And then finally, 12, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
okay, I think,
Was it 10-1?
is it 10-1?
Oh, 10-1.
Is it 10-1?
It's 10-1.
And then the other one's, I think, up too high. Isn't it? Isn't this one up too high? I think you went too high here. I think it's gotta go down one. Right? Yeah, keep going. Just fix it, so.
What is it?
I think you went up 6. You wanted to go up 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No,
That's fine.
Do S.
Oh, yeah, I see.
No. Is it too high?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
it?
1, 2 more?
You have to go over right here. 1, 2, it's 3, right? She's saying you have to go over 3.
Should I go over 4 instead?
Mm-hmm.
Quickly.
Yeah. That's okay. Now, that's a minor error. I've seen a lot worse. But how did you know that that was off? How did you know?
Which is probably 20.
Because of the symmetry, right? So if you look at the eye right here, the center, these are equal apart. Where you were right, these weren't equal, these two little areas, sorry.
And your
Well-
BP is at 1 to
What's that? What's too high?
It's supposed to be 5, right? Or 5? For the first point? What's
Yeah,
the-
that's what I said.
I counted this.
Yeah, and what is the Y value for that point?
The Y value is 5.
Yeah, you went up 6. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I think your domain and range always call me.
Yes, for this, it's all around the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, right there. There you go. That's what I thought was wrong. It's okay.
See, I have to have my face up on the paper when I can see.
So you just need bigger graph. Okay. So, look at your picture. Is it a snake? Is it another snake? It
It's a
should
very
be. If
deformed
it's not,
snake.
it's good. You did good.
Snake itself is very deformed. And then for the domain and range, they're just all real numbers.
Right, AR. Anyone want to do another one? Brett, want to continue? Yeah, I sure do.
Alright, I can do that.
Mhm.
As long as I don't mess up tracking, yeah.
Why? We all make mistakes.
Mhm.
I just have to lift my face up on the paper in order for me to see the graph. So one's gonna be number 5. You got 2 square root of cube root of x plus 1 minus 5. So once again, you're just gonna give yourself the parent function of y equals the square root or cube root of x. You're gonna give yourself those easy numbers. Negative 8, 1, 0, 1, and 8. And then back over here, you got 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. Since it's plus 1, so you're going to give the opposite of it, which means you're going to subtract all the x's by 1. So the table over here. So that's going to give you negative 9, negative 2, negative 1. 1 minus 1 is 0, and then 8 minus 1 is 7. You can just bring your y's over, because you're not touching them yet. But now you are, because you're going to multiply everything by by a vertical stretch of 2. Carry your x's over, because you're basically done with them. 1, 0, and 7. Can't see them. And then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Anything times 0 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 2, or 2 times 1 is 2. And then 2 times 2 is 4. And then finally, you're going to subtract everything by 5 since the graph is going down 5. Once again, bring your x's over, negative 9, negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 7. And then negative 5 minus the negative 4 is going to be a negative 9. Negative 7 is the next answer. Negative 5 minus, or 0 minus negative 5 is negative 5. Then you have negative 3, and then finally negative 1. Anything graph, and this can go anything graph. We're going to go over here and go up 9, 9, 2, negative 7,
You can't see your graphing.
see me graph. No, you can't.
Want me to help you graph it?
I would like that.
And your eye? I'll graph it for you, so.
It isn't, is this not a 10 graph? 10 by 10 graph?
Is it, are these the right numbers?
Yeah.
It should be in the bottom left.
Bottom left, yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
would
you might
pause
want-
it.
So, hold on. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2,
So it's 12 by 12.
yeah, there's negative 9, did I do that right?
Yep.
Negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And we have negative 1, negative 5. There. And then 0, negative 3. Whoops. Ah,
Yeah, so
I made a mistake with a marker. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, negative 1. Ignore that little boo-boo right there. It's Everyone good? It's a snake. Good job. Domain and range is all real numbers. Okay, next one.
That's one someone else wrote. This coordinate is good.
You're doing good. Keep going.
Alright, so once again, parent function is gonna stay as the y equals the cube root of x, which is gonna be the same table of -8, -1, 0, 1, and 8. And then over here we got 2, 1, 0, -1, and -2. Now the first thing you're gonna do is plus 3, so it's gonna be an x, you're gonna subtract all the x's by 3. And that's gonna give you -8 minus the 3 is -11. And then you got -4 down here. 0 minus 3 is -3. -2, and then finally a 5. Correct. You can bring your y's over.
Can we see that on the screen, please?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll bring your y's over, so 0, 1, and 2. That works, that works. And then you got a 2 over here. In the problem, so you can multiply all the y's by a vertical stretch of 2 once again. Bring your x's over, -11, -4, -3, -2, and 5. And then 2 times a -2 is a -4. We have a -2, 2 times -1 is -2. Anything times 0 turns out to be 0. Then you have 2 and 4. And then finally, since you got a y over here, the graphic, or over here, the graph's going down 4. So you can subtract all the y's by 4.
Slide your paper over.
Slide the paper over.
Yeah, up and up a little bit. Yeah, that's good.
I'm just going to bring your x's over. -11, -4, -3, 2, and 5. And then -4 minus 4 is going to be a -8, -6, -4. -4 minus 2 is going to be a -2. And then finally we have 0. -4 minus 4 is 0. And of course we should try that. So we're going to try it anyway. So since I now know that this is a 12 by 12 graph, it'll be easier for me. So 11.
It what? Comes out weird? It shouldn't.
Is that weird? Wrong somewhere?
Go ahead, graph
It's like
it.
a weird snake one.
I mean, I guess it could.
If it looks weird, you might have either a point plotted wrong, or you might have a number in your t-shirt wrong. But find your error. This is a good place for you. If, like I said, it made the goofy analogy that if this is a snake, snakes give birth to snakes. It's not going to look like something else. So if it doesn't, so far it looks good. Oh, nope, something's
That's
wrong.
not right.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not,
I didn't.
see?
I went up 5. There's the issue.
Now before you connect the dots, I want you to move your hand out. Now, if you were to connect those dots, is it symmetrical? It looks good to me. Before you connect them, does everyone agree that that's good? He's good? He's going to have himself a snake. Go ahead.
That was bad.
We got to learn. We got to work on that, connecting the dots.
And then domain and range.
Good
is,
job.
Of course, once again, all real numbers.
Yay. It was good. So let's look at our picture again. Nice. Put arrows at the end. And that's good. Very good. Do you see why it's important for teachers to have this T-chart? Because his graph, although if he didn't have those dots there, I know exactly his hand shook and he went over, but those, you have to understand that all of the dots, all of the infinite number of points that are on that snake line are a solution. So you want to go through them as much as possible. You want to be neat, in other words. Okay, good job. Last one on this page. We just did a problem very close to it. See if you can do this one. There's an 8 in front of x. What should you try to do?
You can take it out.
Take it out. So I want you to first factor that 8 out of 8x plus 32.
That's gonna become y, and then the parentheses x plus 4, right?
Yeah, first do cube root, and then 8, and then x plus 4 in parentheses. Good.
Minus 2.
And then finish your parentheses, x plus 4.
And since it's a cube root, you can take the 8 out.
So say that.
Since it's the cube root, and since 8 does have a cube root of 2, 2, and 2, you can take that out and make that into y equals 2, then the cube root of x minus 4.
X plus 4.
Plus 4, I apologize, and then minus 2. And then in words.
In words.
In words, that's going to come up to, you're going to be going left 4.
Yeah. Left 4.
So left 4,
Can you raise your paper up so we can see it? Yep.
left 4. And then since you know you got the 2, you're going to have a vertical stretch by 2. Chicken stretch. And then you're going to go down 2 since it's in minus 2.
Very good.
Wouldn't be a vertical stretch by 4?
Show her. She's asking a question.
Oh, yes. Well, since that,
Because you only have, when you do 32, you get like 8 and 4, and then 4 goes into 2 twos, and 8 goes 4 and 2. So then you have to multiply. Oh wait, you have to multiply the 4
I
and
think
2.
I know what she's trying to say. Because you're not going to have, if you do break that up, you're not still going to have the 3 pairs. The only 3 pairs
I
are
want
going
the 32.
to
We're not dealing with 32 anymore. He factored an 8 out of 32. He's got 8 times x plus 4.
So he divided 8 out of 8x and left with x. He divided 8 out of 32 and got a 4. You see
And
that?
then he's taking the cube root of 8, which is 2. The cube root of 8 is 2, so that 2 comes out. Remember, every time you get a combination, if it's cube root, you want 3 of a kind. We got 8 gives us 3 2's, so you take that 2 out. So that 2 is a vertical stretch by a factor of 2. Raise your paper up a little bit. You see that?
Yeah, I know.
So 4 is going to move your graph left 4. The 2 in front is going to give you a stretch by 2, and the 2 at the end is moving it down 2. Good job, Bhrett. Okay, the front page is review. Want me to do it? This is review of 6, 7. Kind of went backwards.
Good job, Bhrett.
Thank
Good
you, Ms.
job,
Bhrett.
Bhrett. So when I'm absent, you're going to be the sub, okay?
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Can you tell me what function this is? What does this graph to be? What is it? Is it a circle? Is it a square?
Oh, I have nothing.
Is
on
it
my
a
paper.
rectangle? It's a line. This is a line. It's a straight line, right? Can you tell me, are there any numbers that we cannot put into an equation to figure out what the domain and range is? Is there any number we can't multiply by 2? So what is the domain of a line? All real numbers, right? All lines, the domain's all real numbers, and the range is all real numbers. So we can put any number in, and what's going to come out could be anything. Basically, that's what that's saying. So, do lines pass the horizontal line test? Are they 1-to-1?
Yes.
Yes. So what does that mean?
That its inverse is gonna be a function.
Its inverse, when we do it, will be a function. Well, how do you find the inverse of a rule? You've got right here y equals 2x minus 3. If I ask you to give me the inverse rule of this, what are the steps involved in doing that? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do with these x and y's?
We're gonna
You
swap them.
switch them. And then what do? Solve for y. We're going to add 3, and we're going to divide by 2. So we have 1/2 x plus 3/2 equals y. Now since we said it's 1-to-1, you can change this y to be f negative 1 of x. So you can write f negative 1 x equals 1/2 x plus 3/2. Now can you tell me how to do the domain in the range of the inverse? All you do is what? Anyone know the little trick? What do you do with these two? You switch them around. So you have all real numbers anyway. Questions on that? The next one. Can you tell me, is this a circle, a square, a rectangle? What is it?
It's a line.
It's a line.
Oh, no, it's not a line, it's a parabola.
Okay, it's a parabola. You should look at it and recognize the characteristics. Can you tell me where it's at? I'm not asking you to graph it
It's
completely.
down 4,
It's down 4. What told you that?
the -4.
Yep, it's down 4, and it looks like this, right? Is there any number for the x, remember the domain is your x values, is there any number that you can't square?
Yeah.
What? What can't you square? You can't square a negative number? I can. -2 squared is 4. -3 squared. Is there any number you can't take this, you can't square? So what's your domain? All real numbers. For square root, for quadratics, it's all, the domain is all real numbers. How about the range? What's the smallest y value? Since this graph is starting here and it's going up, what's the smallest y value? So we're going to say the domain is greater than or equal to -4. Does this pass the horizontal line test?
No.
No. So is its inverse going to be a function?
No.
It is not. How do you find the inverse of this? What do you do? How do you find the inverse?
I'm gonna swap the x and the y.
You swap x and y around. Then what do?
Add 4.
Add 4. What is he doing? What's he doing? He's telling me to add 4. Why? He's trying to solve for y. Okay, you gotta know this stuff. What do you do next? What root? Square root. And you get y is equal to plus or minus the square root of x plus 4. So what does this tell you right here? That there's 2 x values for this y. This y value has 2 x values. And didn't we learn it's not a function then? Can I put f -1 of x here? No, I cannot. Can you tell me what the domain and the range is going to be for this problem? What's the domain going to be? Quickly.
X is greater than or equal to -4.
And what's the range?
All real numbers.
Very good. You switch these around. And no, you cannot write f -1 because it's not a function. How about the next one? Is this a circle, a square, a rectangle? What is it? We used,
It's a,
we
it's
called
a
it something
ramp.
yesterday.
It's a
What did we
ramp.
call it?
A ramp.
A what?
Ramp?
A rocket. Oh, a ramp, that's another one. This is a rocket. Where does this rocket start?
5 units to the left.
Good job. 5 units to the left. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to start here and it's a rocket. Just try to remember that. It's a rocket, 5 units left. What's the domain and the range of this rocket? X is what? Thank you. And what's the range?
All real numbers?
Mm-mm.
No.
Did it go down here?
Y is greater than 3 equals 0.
Very good.
I'm gonna do it.
Now, when we do the inverse of this, how do we do the inverse? Tell me what to do. Quickly. Someone.
Up.
What do we do?
You're gonna square root. No,
We're
not
gonna
square root.
switch.
Square it. Oh.
Switch X and Y around first, then square both sides. And subtract 5. Whoops, x squared minus 5 equals y. Now, question. Did this pass the horizontal line test?
Yes.
So its inverse, yes, it will be a function. So we're going to write f negative 1 of x equals x squared minus 5. But guess what, guys? This is a parabola. It's 5 units down. So what is very important is that we definitely get this domain right, because we don't want all of this. We only want this part of this picture. We don't want that. That's too much. So how do we restrict this domain? What's the domain going to be? Give you a hint. Here's your hint.
I love hints.
And y is? That'll give you this part of the graph. X is greater than or equal to 0 and y is greater than or equal to negative 5. The last one. D. What is this? A circle, a square? What is it and where is it?
It's a parabola and it's 3 to the left.
Good job. 3 to the left. 3 to the left, right here. There you go. 3 to the left. So can you tell me the domain? The domain is all real numbers, and what's the range?
Y equal to greater than 0.
Good job. So what do we have here? We have y is equal to x plus 3 squared. How do you find the inverse? What do you do with these two
Swap
x
them.
and y's?
Swap them.
Swap them out, and then now I need to resolve this for y. How am I going to get under here?
Square root it.
Square root both sides. So you get plus or minus root x is equal to y plus 3, and then what? So y is equal to, it's plus or minus the square root of 3 minus 3. And the last thing, oh, I'm off the page. Can you tell me what the domain and the range is going to be for this? What's the domain going to be?
X is greater than or equal to 0.
What's the range?
All real numbers.
All real numbers. Now, was this a function? Did this? I mean, it's normally a function, but is it 1 to 1? Does it pass the horizontal line test? No. So its inverse will not be a function. Okay. So I need, before you guys leave,